Yeah, I do. I absolutely believe that.
And you believed that before you had the accident.
Before the accident, I did believe it. That the accident, I would say, was the lowest moment in my life. So just to let everyone know what happened, I got very drunk. I was at a show. I was depressed. My money was running out from the television work I had been doing, and I thought that I was going to lose everything. And it was my darkest moment, and instead, I got too drunk that night. I hit a wall. The car that I was in caught fire. I didn't notice because I was blacked out drunk, and I was saved that night. And sure enough, maybe a few months later, a comic named Eddie Ift called me because I had also I was depressed, but I was still editing things and just throwing them up online, and I sent it to him directly. And he goes, "Hey, you're a good editor," because I used to work for him for free, by the way. And he goes, "There's a job opening at my work. You know, we manage these comics, the number 6 comic top paid of all time, by the way." And then he was like, "Would you like to do it?" And I was like, "Absolutely." And because I refused to allow the circumstances to get to me and instead just worked harder, eventually I was able to gain now I make a living.
Well, and since then, I haven't seen, because I remember when I met you, I was like, that guy was a little cynical. And then I met you again afterward, now after like
the accident.
A year or two later, and I was like, well, he's a jolly little son of a gun. I just remember that he's surprisingly jolly.
Yeah. Like if I write something offensive online, just know that I'm laughing while I write it.
Well, people get offended so easily these days.
Yes.
And you know what I think? I think it tends right to what we were talking about today, because a lot of people tend to be offended as a means of stopping them from overcoming something.
Yes, absolutely. And I 100% agree. Oh, hey, David Berger and Jeff Chung. Thank you for watching.
Hey, Dave.
We partied together on Jeff Chung and I. We partied together for my best friend's wife's birthday. Happy birthday again, Megan Gersh. You are an amazing human being, and I'm so happy that I've met you. And we all partied together. We went out and we danced the night away.
Nice.
So and I somehow danced the night away as well. I'm not very good at it, but hey, I know my weaknesses, and apparently drinking coffee is one of them.
Coffee will get you.
Yeah,
it'll get you. That the Mormons know. They know you don't let that coffee demon in.
No, but
you let that coffee demon in, you're going to be polygamous. That's the real secret of Utah. I'm joking.
Yeah.
I'm just playing some sillies. Well, there seems to be a time in our country when people could play sillies. Like we saw at the beginning of this podcast, Ian Bagg, who
I work with.
I've heard of him.
Yes.
I didn't put 2 and 2 together, probably because I indulge in too many California legal substances. But he did a hilarious joke about midgets. And it wasn't that he was trying to hurt the feelings of people who are born shorter than the rest of us. There's a funny nature to life. You can be overcome by your circumstances, wallow in your depression and anger and cynicism, and go around in a circle getting pissed at everybody. Or you can be like, you know what? There is something funny there. It's messed up, but it's kind of funny. Yeah. And I think that's the tactic. I think what we need to do to overcome our situation is realize that when there's a challenge put in front of you, the reason that's there is so that you can become stronger. Nobody brags about climbing a hill. They brag about climbing a mountain.
Yes, although I'd brag about climbing a hill because I'm very, very weak.
Nah, you're stronger than you think.
No, as a joke, but I am also weak.
That's the truth of it. I mean, there's another way to look at it, too. Say you climbed a mountain and you looked at the view from the top, or you took a helicopter to the top of the mountain. Which avenue is going to make it so that you appreciate the view more? If you climb that mountain, when you're up there, you're going to appreciate that view. You're going to drink it in. You're going to feel it. You're going to feel satisfied. You're going to feel at one, like, wow, I did it. You take that helicopter to the top, you're just like, wow, that's a pretty nice view. Yeah, this is fun. Let's go back to town. I want to drink, you know?
Yes.
It's not going to be the same thing. So one of the reasons it can be so hard, and I struggle with this. I have to remind myself of this. Mm-hmm. One of the reasons it can be so hard in life is because if it isn't, what's the point of it? If there's no struggle, what you're some Rothschild born into billions and you sledded your way to the top. Who cares what achievements you've got? You know, when you turn $1,000 into $3 million, that's an accomplishment. When you take that $1,000 and you're like, I only have $1,000, I'm just going to drink it. Well, it sucks.
Yeah, exactly. And I will say this, that that is why there was a quote from Carnegie who said that it's better that a man be born into poverty because it will motivate him to greatness